Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. The federal government says Nigeria is set to host the 8th Nigeria-European Union Ministerial Dialogue in Abuja, bringing together top officials to deepen strategic cooperation between both partners. The meeting will focus on trade, security, migration, governance, and climate action, with Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tuga leading Nigeria's delegation. European Union's Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas is expected to hold bilateral talks and high-level engagement aimed at strengthening diplomatic and economic ties. The Defense Headquarters has denied reports suggesting United States plan to relocate a drone base from Niger Republic to Nigeria, describing the claims as misleading. Authorities confirmed that the United States personnel currently in Nigeria are only involved in training, intelligence sharing, and advisory roles, not combat operations. The military insists there are no agreements or discussions regarding the establishment of a foreign drone base in the country. In the meantime, the federal government has defended Nigeria's security agencies, saying they are not responsible for the recent resurgence of terrorist attacks. Information Minister Mohammed Idris said the forces are working tirelessly to protect citizens, while acknowledging that more efforts are needed to strengthen security. He also highlighted ongoing reforms and investments aimed at improving the safety and stability of citizens across the country. Governors elected on the platform of the All Progressive Congress (APC) are meeting in Lagos State to deliberate on national and party matters. The gathering is expected to focus on aligning state policies with federal government's priorities and strengthening the party's political strategy. The meeting comes amid the APC's growing dominance across the country following a series of defections. Still talking party politics, the Abdurrahman Mohammed-led faction of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has inaugurated over 20 committees ahead of its national convention scheduled for later this month. Party leaders say the committees will oversee key aspects of the convention, including accreditation, logistics, security, and publicity, as preparations intensify. The move comes amid ongoing internal divisions within the party, with concerns that the crisis could affect its readiness for the 2027 general elections. And now to Kano State, where Emir of Kano has paid a traditional visit to the Kano State Government House as part of activities marking the annual Nasarawa Doba Festival. He was received by the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly in a colorful ceremony that attracted top government officials and traditional title holders. Global TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that this year's Doba was without horse riding.
It was a moment of rich cultural display and royal splendor as the Emir of Kano arrived at the government house in continuation of the Nasarawa Doba celebrations. Dressed in regal attire and accompanied by palace officials and horsemen, the Emir was warmly received by the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly alongside other dignitaries. The visit, which is a long-standing tradition, symbolizes the enduring relationship between the traditional institutions and government authorities. Crowds gathered to catch a glimpse of the royal procession as cultural performers added color and excitement to the occasion. Speaking during the visit, the speaker commended the Emir for his role in promoting peace, unity, and cultural heritage in Kano State.
I call on all citizens to avoid any action or behavior that could threaten the peace and stability of our dear state. Let us continue to uphold the value of tolerance, mutual respect, and harmonized coexistence regardless of our differences.
The Emir, in his remark, reaffirmed the commitment of traditional institutions to supporting government efforts towards development and social harmony. With the governor's education reform program, we can see that a lot of improvement have been recorded in our education sector, and we have seen it on the outcomes of this year's WAEC and NECO. Our students have passed in large number. We are really happy with His Excellency the Governor. The Nasarawa Durbar Festival remains one of Kano's most cherished cultural events, showcasing the rich heritage and traditions of the people. From Kano, Idris Jubrin, Global Television News.
A pro-government support group says it is deepening grassroots development by empowering military and paramilitary families across the country. The Bola Tinubu Ideological Group made this known during a sensitization and empowerment program for military and paramilitary spouses in Abuja. Our correspondent, Aniete Patrick, reports.
Convener of the group, Bamidele Atoyebi, says the initiative is aimed at grooming leaders and promoting people-oriented development nationwide. He explains that the group is mobilizing Nigerians from the grassroots to national level to drive progressive ideals and strengthen governance. Atoyebi adds that the program targets military spouses often overlooked, equipping them with skills and opportunities to improve their social-economic status.
Why we are doing this for the military and paramilitary is because over time they've been sidelined. And majority of them think because their husbands, their spouses are uniform men, they should not participate in politics. They got it wrong. There is no law stopping them from participating in politics. And in them participating in politics, this is when and how they'll be able to even negotiate on behalf of their husband, negotiate on behalf of their family.
On her part, national women leader of the ministry and paramilitary wives, Gloria Luka, says the initiative is designed to promote unity, empowerment, and self-reliance among women.
He's the father of all. He has the history of people in his heart. He loves people. He loves helping the women, the military and paramilitary wives, to make them to achieve their dream and to make them grow, to achieve them, to empower them, to give them future, and to give their children a free education.
Some beneficiaries say the program will boost their livelihoods and give them a stronger sense of belonging.
Then what I think about the ideology, about this empowerment, it will give the women sense of belonging. So I think with this particular one, it's really going to help the women to have a sense of belonging.
I think looking at the environment, I think everything will be good and everything will move perfectly well.
Organizers say the initiative will be expanded across states as part of efforts to complement government interventions and drive inclusive national development. Aniete Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to uphold peace, remain law-abiding, and support national security efforts by sharing vital information with authorities. The president made the call shortly after observing Eid prayers in Lagos State. Ubong Osoro completes the story.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emphasized on the importance of unity, mutual respect, and collective responsibility in nation building. He urged citizens across the country to use the festive period as a time for reflection, compassion, and a renewed commitment to peaceful coexistence regardless of ethnic, religious, or political differences.
Of a nation, of neighbors, and kindness to all humanity in any way we can, giving assistance to the needy and helping the vulnerable.
President Tinubu urged Nigerians to respect the rule of law and cooperate with security agencies by providing useful information to safeguard lives and properties. He noted that security is a shared responsibility, stressing that timely and credible information from the public remains critical in addressing threats and maintaining stability.
We thank Almighty God for giving us that month. But the teaching must continue even after Ramadan. We must continue to be of our brother's keeper, good behavior, good neighbors, love to humanity.
President Tinubu encouraged Nigerians to extend love and support to one another, especially the less privileged, in the spirit of the Eid celebration. The message comes amid ongoing efforts by government to strengthen national unity and enhance security across the country. Ubong Osoro for Global Television News.
NDLEA says its operatives have uncovered large consignments of illicit drugs hidden in everyday items at the Lagos airport and Quartier facilities. Authorities say suspects attempted to smuggle opiates concealed in body creams, jackets, and cartons to international destinations. The agency describes the seizure as part of a broader crackdown on drug trafficking networks operating across Nigeria. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast, plus business foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Thank you for joining us. We expect plenty of sunshine across the northern and central parts of the country, with very high temperatures persisting throughout the day. Residents of these areas are strongly advised to take necessary precautions to reduce heat-related risk. While in the southern half of the country, likelihood of morning thunderstorms across parts of Cross River, Delta, Lagos, Ogun, and Osun State. As we move into the afternoon and evening hours, thunderstorms activity is expected to become more widespread along the coastal belt, extending into Imo, Enugu, some parts of Anambra, Edo, Osun, and parts of Kogi, the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, and parts of Kwara State. Do stay tuned for the temperature outlook. Thank you for watching.
And now to business news. President Bola Tinubu is set to flag off the Niger Delta Investment and Economic Summit in Port Harcourt, aimed at unlocking development opportunities in the region. The summit will bring together investors, policymakers, and development partners to explore economic prospects across key sectors. Organizers say the initiative is designed to drive sustainable growth and reposition the oil-rich region for long-term prosperity. The House of Representatives is raising the alarm over a possible spike in fuel prices, warning Nigerians to brace for fresh pressure at the pumps if urgent steps are not taken. Chairman of the House Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream, Ikenga Ugo Chinyere, made the disclosure during a media briefing in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick Hasma.
Chairman House Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream Ikenga Ugochinyere linked the looming crisis to crude oil supply challenges affecting domestic refineries, especially the Dangote refinery. According to the committee, findings from its oversight function shows that the refinery is receiving far below the crude oil volume required to sustain stable fuel production. While the facility is expected to receive about 21 cargoes of crude oil, with at least 15 from Nigeria, it is currently getting just 5, a shortfall lawmakers describe as dangerously inadequate.
Now, beyond the insufficient quantity, we're also concerned about the quality of the crude that is being delivered. The Nigerian crude supply to the refinery is not of the highest available grade from our finding. So, a refinery of the scale and national importance like Dangote deserves and requires priority access to first-line quality crude oil.
The development, they note, means domestic refineries are effectively buying Nigeria's own crude through international middlemen, a practice they insist must end. The committee is now calling for immediate intervention to boost crude supply, warning that failure to act could trigger fuel scarcity and the return of long queues nationwide. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
So I want NUP.
Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day of Forests. Stakeholders have called on the federal government to harness Nigeria's abundant forest resources for the benefit of the economy. Environmental correspondent Ubong Usoro, who has been tracking the event, tells us more.
Forests remain one of the most valuable natural assets, providing food, medicine, raw materials, employment opportunities for millions of people. A professor of wildlife resources technology, Edem Enyang, underscored the critical role of forests in sustaining life and driving national development, stressing that beyond preserving biodiversity and regulating the climate, forest resources remain vital to economic growth. He warned that safeguarding these natural assets is not optional, but essential to securing a sustainable future.
It's a day set aside by the global community to raise awareness of the value of conserving our forests, the value of forests, and the urgent need for all and sundry to join hands in protecting and conserving the integrity of our forests worldwide. This is why
environmental advocates declared that forest preservation is now a critical driver of economic growth and not just conservation. The Nigerian coordinator of the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, Folake Salawu, says this year's theme, Forests and Economies, underscores the vital role of forests in national development, job creation, and overall well-being of communities.
Lifetime, we should plant one tree to support the existence of forests and ensure that we cut down the rates of deforestation, which does not support sustainable development.
Stakeholders are calling for stronger collaboration between government, private organizations, citizens to protect Nigeria's forests while also promoting sustainable development. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
Now turn our attention to news making rounds on the foreign scene. Sudan's army has denied responsibility for a deadly airstrike on Al-Dain Teaching Hospital in East Darfur, which reportedly killed at least 64 people, including children and medical staff, and injured dozens more. The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces accused the military of carrying out the attack with a drone during Eid celebrations, while the World Health Organization confirmed the hospital is now non-functional, depriving thousands of critical healthcare services. The military, however, rejected the allegations, insisting it adheres to international law as calls grow for an independent investigation into the incident amidst Sudan's ongoing civil war that has already claimed over 150,000 lives and displaced millions more. Tensions between the United States and Iran have escalated over the Strait of Hormuz, with both sides issuing fresh threats. United States President Donald Trump has warned of possible strikes on Iranian infrastructure if the key oil route remains blocked, while Iran vows retaliation against U.S.-linked assets. The standoff has rattled global markets and pushed oil prices higher amidst fear of supply disruptions. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to personally target senior commanders of Iran's Revolutionary Guards following a missile strike on a southern Israeli town. He made the remarks during a visit to Arad, one of the areas hit in the latest escalation between Israel and Iran. And now to report. Netanyahu visited the affected areas to assess the damage caused by the Iranian missile strike, which hit residential zones and heightened tensions across the region. Standing at the scene, the Israeli leader issued a strong warning signaling an intensification of Israel's response against Iran's military leadership.
If you want proof that Iran endangers the entire world, the last 48 hours have given it. In the last 48 hours, Iran targeted a civilian area. They're doing that as a mass murder weapon. Luckily, no one was killed, but that's due to luck, not their intention. Their intention is to murder civilians. They fired on Jerusalem right next to the holy sites of the three monotheistic faiths, the Western Wall, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And by dint of a miracle again, none of them were hurt, but they were targeting the holy sites of the three major monotheistic religions.
The visit comes amid growing fears of a wider regional conflict as both sides continue to exchange threats and military actions. Netanyahu further emphasized that Israel's response would go beyond defensive measures targeting key figures and strategic assets linked to Iran.
Well, we've defined two clear goals. One is to break completely their nuclear program, break completely their missile program, break completely their capacity to produce the components for both of these programs. We're well on our way on achieving it. We've also set a goal of creating conditions for the Iranian people to overthrow this tyranny that has tormented them and made life miserable and is making life miserable for the entire world.
The latest development underscored the deepening hostilities between Israel and Iran, with concerns mounting over the risk of further escalation. Global leaders have continued to call for restraints as tensions threaten to spill beyond the immediate conflict zones. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global TV News. At least 6 people have been confirmed dead, and 1 person remains missing after a military helicopter crashed into Qatar's territorial waters during a routine operation. Qatari authorities said the aircraft went down because of a technical malfunction, noting that specialized rescue teams are continuing the search for the last missing occupant. The incident comes at a time of heightened regional tension, although officials insist there is no identification that the crash was linked to a hostile action. And now talking sports, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, AFN, has denied allegations of welfare neglect at the first phase of the national camp for the 2026 Commonwealth Games, while admitting that there was a delay in the payment of athletes' allowances. The federation said the funds were properly approved and disbursed, insisting that no financial misconduct and that all athletes and coaches have now been fully paid. The AFN also maintained that the camp facilities and accommodations met approved standards, blaming the delay on third-party payments processing issues rather than neglect. And now to football, where the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has reportedly asked Kenya to pay a $30 million hosting commitment fee as part of preparations to co-host the 2027 African Cup of Nations. The development has raised fresh uncertainty over Kenya's role in joint hosting arrangements, with officials warning that failure to meet the requirement could affect the country's participation in the tournament plans. Kenyan authorities say efforts are ongoing to address the issue as attention turned to meetings, CAF financial and organizational conditions ahead of the competition. That's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms, now showing on your screen using a Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Qasim, saying a very big thank you for watching.